Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, Bashem Rakak, Wadash, and double honor to the apostles of the great millstone that have taught us this truth through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashmiel Shai, and Yahweh Bashmiel Shai Brakatham, to the sincere, those that of the hopeful elect, as we believe that we are. And it's your brother, Laban. And I want to give my take on this individual here, Malcolm Jamal Warner, which used to be on the Cosby Show from 1984 to 1992, if I'm correct. And then, he trumped up to the level of, being a Hollywood actor instead. So now in this video, he expresses himself and how he feels in regards to the poem that he's going to read in this video. And without further ado, I'm going to play this video. And this is just my suspicion. I said without further ado, but then I continue to talk more. But I just want to finish my thought. Personally, I believe, due to my suspicion, this was the video that probably got him capped. All right. So, yeah. So now I say without further ado, let's play this video.
I am tired of running for shade. And aren't you tired of being hustled and played? And aren't we all tired of crying about how hard it is to be black in America, even if it looks like we've got it made? But freedom has its limits, so here we are, tear-streaked and salt-stained faces. Traces of trauma and pain lace our DNA like our black pride is cut and laced with self-hate, and we still think it's dope. Just like the music we're programmed to celebrate. Can you tell me the fate of the people who consciously take the bait and embrace the very traits placed upon them by their captors, who by design are inclined to keep them believing they're second rates? I'll wait. What's good?
Yeah, so that's all there is to it. So I believe, once again, that was the poem. As the saying goes, that was the last straw that broke the camel's back, And, my take to this, to his passing, is to say that, the man sold his soul. Now, you got some people in Hollywood that was born into it. Parents sold them out into it. That's a different situation. Understandable. And I mean, if he's one of those guys, okay, cool. But for the most part, usually people sell out because they're hoping for a better way out of the life that they lived before. And it's not always the fact that a lot of our people came from the projects or whatever. Some of our people probably were raised up in a middle class setting, 2-parent household, you name it, but they just wanted more because, there was something that they were lacking. Whatever it is, right? But, when you give something to someone and they're making good use of it, you can't take it back anymore. All right? It's a done deal. So it's the same thing with you giving your soul away. If you give your soul away to an institution that doesn't really care about you, they never did and they never will. I mean, what do you expect? What can you really expect? And the thing with Jake in America should already know the deal that when, of course, if you were to give your soul away to a people that never liked you, that were always behind your downfall, I mean, come on, they're going to perpetuate your downfall. They're going to use you as a vessel to basically, raise you up in the knees, but you're going to be destroying your own people. And as well as at the very end of it all, you're going to be destroyed. All right? So I want to read this. This is Matthew 16 and verse 26. For what is a man profited if he shall gain the whole world and lose his own soul? Or what shall a man give in exchange for his soul? Absolutely nothing. Because once you give your soul away, now you're under the control of that individual or that institution that you sold your soul to. So you can't get upset when, you're being told what to do in terms of compromising who you are. You can't get upset because you signed into that. Like, you wasn't a 9-year-old child and your parents, had it out for you to join, this organization. No, most people join these organizations and they sign into it, right? But then when it gets boring and things start to look dire, now they gotta complain about it. But bro, this is what you signed up for. All right. So you get what's coming to you. You think signing with the devil was going to be a smooth ride? No. The devil's going to do what the devil's going to do. He's going to use you, extract what he can get out of you, and then spit you out. So by the time he spits you out, now you hurting inside. Now you don't have as well as you feel. You feel like an empty bottle because that's what you signed up for. All right. And you know what it really boils down to? It boils down to one thing that our people don't have is integrity, man. Because if you truly have integrity, you're going to see the valuability of your soul. A lot of our people are coming from places where they were told that they weren't shit, whether their moms told them they weren't shit, whether the school they grew up in told them it wasn't going to be nothing, the teachers, just in general, the world. So they believed in what the world was telling them and everybody in it. And so they felt needed to go and sell their soul so that they can prove to the world that there is somebody. All right. And that's what it is. So, there's many ways to prove that you're not an ain't shit ass nigga. Like, you don't have to literally sell your soul, because when you sell your soul, that's what you're showing. You're showing that you ain't shit. You're showing that you don't really care about yourself. All right, to give your soul away to a bunch of people that were there to enslave your people. All right. So this is Proverbs 11 and verse 3. The integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Right. So it's about integrity, man. It's about integrity. You see, in this world, okay, yeah, a lot of us came from rough backgrounds and stuff like that. But, you gotta have your integrity intact, man. Once you got that integrity, you can't sell yourself a cheat. Or you can't sell yourself at all, because again, you see the importance of who you are. All right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. We may have came from an ain't shit situation, but it shouldn't be to the point where you gotta literally give your ass away, right? And now that they're funding you and shit like that, because all you really want to do is you want to be rich, you want to be famous, you want that acknowledgement that you never had in the world, or or your parents never showed you that kind of attention, so you want to get it from somewhere else. So with that being said, there's no integrity. All right, integrity is going out the window. And the word integrity, from the etymon line from the 14th century, integrity, innocence, blamelessness, chastity, purity, from Old French integrity, and directly from the Latin integritum, soundness, wholeness, completeness, purity, correctness, blamelessness, from integral whole. And you know what? Speaking about being whole, our people are under curses, man. And because we're under curses, Jake is hurting. There's various forms of problems that our people have due to the curses. So we're not a whole people at all. All right. And it's now understandable why our people do the shit that they have to do to show out themselves in their own understanding that, oh yeah, in a better light. All right? Because what they're trying to do is they're trying to fill the void of what they didn't have in the world. So therefore, they can do it with material means or to get attention from people. And you got niggas like this in the truth. Case in point, Al-Azhar, the Bishop Nathaniel, and many others. The leadership of the ISUPK, they're using this truth to garner attention, financial gain. Because really what it really boils down to, it's about trying to be cool. It's about trying to stay relevant, which delves into I remember that old Apostle Gabar mentioned the word fame, which means famish. Famish for attention. All right? And we're not here to gain fame. We're here to basically make famous and glorify the words of the Lord, to glorify the Lord. That's what we're simply here to do. So then, therefore, later on we'll be glorified. But we're not here for that. Okay? So, what I want to do is I want to go and read this over here. This is Isaiah 1 and 1 and verse 1. We'll begin there. And the point is in verse 5. The vision of Isaiah the son of Amos, which he saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem in the day of Uzziah, Jotham, Ahaz, and Hezekiah, king of Judah. Hear, O heaven, and give ear, O earth. For the Lord has spoken, I have nourished and brought up children, and they have rebelled against me. The ox knoweth his owner, and the ass his master's crib. But Israel doeth not know, my people doeth not consider. Ah, sinful nation, a people laden with iniquity, a seed of evildoers, children that are corrupters. They have forsaken the Lord, and they have provoked the Holy One of Israel unto anger, and they are gone away backwards. Why should you be stricken any more? You will revolt more and more, and the whole head is sick, and the whole heart is vain. From the sole of the foot even to the head, there is no soundness in it, but wounds and bruises and putrefying sores. They have not been closed, neither bound up, neither mollified with ointment. So when you go back to the word integrity, which the word integrity, as they have here, is the sense of wholeness, perfect condition. Let me say it correctly, perfect condition, is attested from the mid-15th century, that of soundness of moral principle and character, entire uprightness or fidelity, which means faith, especially in regards to truth and fair dealing, is by 1540s. And that's something that our people are far away from. They're far away from all of this. So that explains why our people sell out for cheap. Like the old saying goes, you could buy among Jake, you could buy a nigga cheap. Because the thing with Jake don't value themselves, man. So when you don't value yourself and you look at yourself like a piece of shit because of where you come from, which to a degree is understandable why you would think that way, you would sell yourself for anything. There's another old saying: if you don't stand for if you don't stand for anything, if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. And that's just what happens to people when they don't have the moral principles. And the water Yahweh Bashim Yahushua that we do have the moral principles, because we could have ended up like these guys, man, giving our souls away for frivolous reasons that we believe and think is a big deal, to fill in the void. All right. So the point is that our people are far away from being integral, man, being whole, being perfect. All right. And that's why, again, they give themselves up, because they're full of afflictions. And this reminds me of Isaiah 1 from verse 4, from verse 6. Reminds me of Lazarus, the poor man, right? which was laden at his gate, filled with sores. So I'm going to read that. That's in verse 20. But I'll begin by reading verse 19. There was a certain rich man which was clothed in purple and fine linen and fed sumptuously every day. And there was a certain beggar named Lazarus, which was laid at his gate full of sores, which the sores represents the curses due to our sins, and desiring to be fed with the crumbs which fell from the rich man's table. Moreover, the dogs came and licked his sores, which are other nations, which made life even worse for them. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. The rich man also died and was buried. In hell he lifted up his eyes, being in torments, and seeth Abraham afar off, and Lazarus in his bosom, and cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me. And said Lazarus, that he may dip the tip of his finger in water, and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime received thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. But now he is comforted, and thou art tormented. And besides all this, between us and you there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. So what this is speaking about is a changing of words of what will be in the future. See, in the kingdom of heaven, we're going to be abundantly blessed. And those that remain in the position of power, that are fared sumptuously every day, that are wealthy and have as far as the eyes can see, as far as the heart can wish, right, are these Edomites. And guess what? They're going to be in our situation and a lot more worse. They're going to be the poor men. We're going to be rich. Okay? So while we're going to be blessed, they're going to be in torments, and we're going to put the torment on them. And they're going to wish that we lay off the torment, but we're going to keep on the torment. And we're going to torment them until, you know, we get rid of them according to the book of Obadiah 1 and 18, man. All right, so their torment ain't going to stop. And it's going to be bad. We're going to put a heavy acid on them for the wrongs that they have done to us and just in general life. All right. So that's what's going to happen. So the cup that we had to drink, that we should have not drunken, they're going to drink that cup. And that's going to be that they are going to be cursed. All right. All of the curses that came upon us are going to come upon our enemies. That's in Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. So right now, you look at our people today and you think to yourself, man, there ain't no hope. There ain't no hope. I mean, you will even say that to yourself when you see your people. But guess what? Doesn't matter what it looks like to you or to me, because the Lord's counsel is going to go out. And what the Lord is going to do, the Lord is going to change the conditions that we face to a whole nother meaning. And we're going to be blessed. And our enemies that are blessed now, they're going to be cursed. And they're going to be under us. And the Lord thy power, this is Deuteronomy 30 and verse 7. And the Lord thy power will put all these curses upon thine enemies and on them that hate thee, which persecuted thee. And thou shalt return and obey the voice of the Lord Yahweh and do all his commandments which I command thee this day. Right? And that's happening right now to a degree. We have returned back to the Lord and we are obeying the voice of the Lord. But more so when we're under that new covenant in the kingdom. All right? When the kingdom of heaven is set up, that's when we're truly going to return to the Lord and do all his commandments. Actually, you know what? This scripture is the kingdom. Because see, right now we're rehearsing the righteous acts. And we're not able to keep all his commandments. So this is going to take place in the kingdom. All right? So there you go, man. Verse 9, and the Lord thy power will make thee plenteous in every work of thine hand, in the fruit of thy body, and in the fruit of thy cattle, and in the fruit of thy land for good. For the Lord Yahweh will again rejoice over you thee for good, as he rejoiced over you, over thy fathers, Okay? And if thou, so I don't need to read no more on this. This is going to go into something else, right? But all of this is what we're going to do in the kingdom of heaven, and we're going to be blessed. So the Lord have wounded us, and that's going to be to my next video that I'm going to do. But the Lord is going to bring the healing and the restoration thereof in the end. So with that, I want to give all of the praises and the glory to the Most High and His Son, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rekah Kwadash, and Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakathum, beginning with our heads and to the brethren on down, Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Brakathum, to y'all of the hopeful elect, as we all believe that we are. Shalom.